Mark Shaw, and I'm here with Nick Williams. Well, still here with Nick Williams.
Holding
the empty latte. What's really quite funny is that anyone who's quite observant will notice we're still in the same clothes, so like we haven't filmed this months apart or anything ridiculous like that.
Or these are the only clothes we've got.
Exactly. When we finished our last video, for those of you who haven't watched it, that's the power of baby steps. We touched on business plans. And there's a lot of feeling around, a lot of business type organisations that you can get advice from will tell you must have a business plan, you must have it all strategy, you must, the cash flow and all this sort of stuff. What's your view on that? Can people really get going without all that sort of stuff, for want of a better word?
Yes, I think it's the bottom line. Some of the most successful people I know have never really had a business plan. They've kind of made it up as they've gone along.
Okay.
And having said that, I also think it's useful to know how things work. What is cash flow? What are your costs going to be? What likely profit you're going to make? How does the whole thing work? I think you need to have a good thinking. You need to have good thinking. But I think for most people, if they sat down and did a business plan, it might turn them off the whole thing.
Okay.
Especially for people that are kind of passionate about what they do, because I see that when a lot of what I call inspired entrepreneurs engage with kind of conventional business agencies, their heart sinks.
Okay.
They're not in business to make business plans. They're not in business to talk about cash flow. They're in business to do something they love, to touch the lives of other people, and to have a good time doing it. And to bring the whole thing down by thinking, I've got to squeeze this into a business plan, I've got to make it work within somebody else's structure, kills their inspiration, it kills their passion. And at the same time, I know that good thinking is essential. So it's finding that positive blend of good thinking and passion that comes together.
One of my favourite programs, I don't know if it's yours, but one of my favourite programs that I certainly like watching is Dragon's Den. And on there you see week after week after week people with seemingly great ideas being humiliated, being ridiculed, because it's it's not going to make it $1 billion within 5 years. There's no exit strategy. All the cash flow. And do you think that's a stereotype that people see that puts people off from doing their own things?
Yeah, because that's in. I was going to say the old paradigm, but it's going to be with us forever probably, but it's a different paradigm of being an entrepreneur. I've never started my business thinking, what's my exit strategy? I want to be doing this for the rest of my life.
Okay.
I love doing it. I don't want to exit from this.
Okay.
This is my passion.
Okay.
And I don't mind if I never become a millionaire. I'm happy with my lifestyle.
So maybe that's one of the sort of bylines of an inspired entrepreneur then. There is no exit strategy.
And why would you want to retire from doing what you love? It will evolve, it will change, it will unfold, but that's the other paradigm of being an entrepreneur, which is you're only doing it for the money to a large extent. Which is fine, it's great to do stuff just for the money, but they're not my people, if you like. That's not my tribe. My tribe are people that are led by passion, inspiration, and wanting to make a difference, and they want to create a successful business around it. But there's a good chance they want to do it for as long as they're capable of doing it.
Well, I think from my own sort of experience, if you ever get a situation where you're just doing it for the money, typically that's not a great situation, because as soon as something else comes along that's a little bit more money, or you can earn another 10 pence or whatever it is, you move on to something else. Whereas if you can find something that you're passionate about, that you love doing, you'd almost do it for no money. So I think that's perhaps one of the
the inspired entrepreneur on the whole would do what they do even if they won the lottery or the pools. They just carry on doing it because they love doing it, and the fact they get paid for it is great because it allows them to carry on doing it and support themselves and their families.
Excellent. Well, that's this topic on business plans where you don't really need one. Check out our next video, where I'm going to be talking to Nick about the sort of 11-step process that he sort of worked out, his top formula for achieving the sort of business that you'd always dreamed that you could have.
Great.
So thanks, Nick, and thanks for watching.
Thanks very much. Cheers.